This is where the fun begins.
What's up, guys? My name's Tony, aka Star Wars Sith, and welcome to another episode of Sith Talk, where we talk Star Wars news, rumors, and coming soon. Today we have on the show JT from the JT Lovecraft Instagram page. How you doing, JT?
You can never escape me.
I'm doing well. How you doing, bud?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good, bro. So tell us a little bit about yourself and about your Instagram page.
Yeah, so I mean, it's just a whatever thing for me. I'm not regularly posting at all, so don't get your hopes up if you're following me. But I do post things that I enjoy. If you enjoy them too, that's awesome. Keep watching me. But yeah, my friends keep bugging me to make a YouTube channel. One day I might make videos and stuff, but
Yeah.
Instagram's pretty much it.
Nice. All right, so everyone that comes on, 3 questions. You ready?
No.
No. Well, we're going to start.
I'm good, yeah.
So the first one is, what is your favorite Star Wars movie?
So I feel like a lot of my answers are actually going to be your answers too, because we like a lot of the same stuff. But it's going to be Revenge of the Sith, yeah.
Nice. Why Revenge for you?
The darkest, grittiest Star Wars, and I just love that whole era. The transition from the prequels to the OT, that is perfect. And plus, when I was a kid, that was the first one I've seen in theaters. One of the first movies I remember watching in theaters. So yeah, I was like 4. So,
Nice. Yeah, it's Revenge for me. Like you said, the darkest, grittiest one. Like, and it's not every day where like kind of the bad guy kind of basically wins in a sense.
Yeah.
And yeah, that movie's just classic. It never gets old, and I still remember to this day seeing it in theaters, man. Like, I'm just so happy and lucky that I saw all of the prequels in theaters, and I have like clear memory of seeing every single one. So, yeah.
Mine's pretty foggy. I remember scenes of it because I was young at the time, so my mom was covering my eyes for all the good parts, like Grievous's head exploding from the inside out, Anakin burning, She's like, and I was peeking through her fingers.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So the next one is, what's your favorite Star Wars show? Only one between live action or animated.
You're going to say one, but I value them both at the same level, and it's both Clone Wars, that specific era.
Oh,
but
okay,
if I have to pick one, though, maybe the Tartakovsky one, because of how quick things move.
Yeah.
And you don't even have to be really big into anime to think, like, the animation style and the way things, the pacing is pretty awesome on that. A lot of important stuff happens, too. So.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's a tough one. I think mine's is Clone Wars, but like I think after the Ahsoka show, I think it's gonna turn back to Rebels because it's close for me between Rebels and Clone Wars. Clone Wars season 7 puts it over the edge, of course, but I'm rewatching Rebels right now, and I'm like, damn, there's some bangers in this, and I forgot there's a lot of Vader in there. Like I was just watching the episode where Vader was talking to Palps through the hologram, and I'm like, I forgot about this. So there's a lot of gems in Rebels, man.
I gotta rewatch Rebels, especially since Ahsoka's coming out. Like you seen that trailer? You and I seen that trailer at Celebration, man. That's a must if you want to understand the nitty gritties. Yeah.
Yes, and we're gonna get into Celebration a lot more in a second.
Cool.
So the last one is, who's your favorite character?
It's Maul.
Yes.
Yes,
Justice for Maul. So why is it Maul for you?
Well, so my first movie that I've seen as a kid that I remember watching in theaters was Revenge of the Sith. But I've been born into Star Wars. My dad was a fan. He had the PlayStation 1, and we were playing Jedi Power Battles.
Nice.
It's super low poly graphics, and like you're a little pixel.
Yeah.
Adi Gallia with a red lightsaber, Plo Koon with the yellow one, right? And it's just a hack and slash all the way through the Phantom Menace. But just like little nostalgic bits like that. Like I've probably seen one movie or the other before. Like that was my first. Like maybe A New Hope was my first, and that's where I started. But I was so young, I can't remember where my starting point was. So I was molded by it. I was born into it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the question?
So why Maul? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, just seeing him as a kid in the Phantom Menace, that specific face was ingrained into my brain.
Yes.
Just the tattoos, the horns, everything.
Yep.
So, and then you get him fleshed out in the Clone Wars. He's the ultimate. he's the ultimate bad guy that returns. That makes sense that he returns though.
Yes. No, yeah, no. I feel the same for sure. Like just seeing him that first time in that trailer, I was like, this dude looks so cool. And then getting more in Clone Wars and getting more in Rebels. I just want more. I feel like they need to do something big with him or something more. Like, why not use him? Like they bring everybody else back.
Yeah, I,
So
I get. I'm losing my patience over time when it comes to Star Wars bringing people back because it's
yeah.
dulling me to the point where if someone actually goes, I'm like expecting them to come back at this point.
Yeah.
And so like a casual fan like my parents, they've seen Darth Maul in The Phantom Menace. They remember that, but they've never seen the Clone Wars.
Yeah. Yep.
And then they see him appear in Solo, and they're like, "I thought that guy was dead," and I'm like,
Yeah.
"You have so much to learn,"
Yeah.
and
That
I envy that.
that's actually how I got into Clone Wars because I never watched Clone Wars, and I'm watching Solo, and I was just like your parents, bro. I'm like, dude got cut in half. What? Excuse me. And then I googled it, and I'm like, Clone Wars. So I binged all the Clone Wars, all the Rebels, and I was like, wow. And like from then on, it was just Maul. Maul's that dude, man.
And what's that comparison? He's the that Greek goddess or Greek god or whatever that character in that mythology. He's or Achilles, is it? I don't know. He's
Maybe.
constantly the character that rolls the boulder up the hill and it falls back down on him.
Oh,
I love an underdog story, and
yeah.
especially when you're so close to getting it, that's just entertaining to watch.
No, for sure, for sure. So I got a couple articles we'll get into in a little bit, but the first thing I wanted to talk about celebration. So was that your first celebration, London?
Yeah, and my first time to Europe and all that stuff.
So what did you think about celebration period and your first time being at London? Like, tell me everything you experienced.
So I've been to a few conventions before, like
Hmm.
Fan Expo Canada,
Yeah, yeah,
and like just little ones here and there. But this was the first, like, all day like convention that was huge that I spent all the time there.
yeah,
So many important people there, and it was all Star Wars too. Because usually when you go to conventions, if you're a Star Wars fan, you like to try to pick out the Star Wars stuff, right?
yeah,
But it being all Star Wars, what a vibe, honestly.
yeah.
No one
Yep.
was complaining, talking about everything was just love. Everybody loves Star Wars, and that's the reason they're there for. And first time going to Europe, I mean, it's ridiculous. I wouldn't have been able to do it without my buddies that I was hanging around because I've traveled before at
Yeah.
ICC. But flying a plane over there and then having a local friend that was actually like 20 minutes away from like a train. We walked and then we just took trams that
Yeah.
took us right to the. Everything was super conveniently placed and it was a blast. I'd do it again in a heartbeat.
Yeah, so that's the one thing about Europe, specifically London. It's so easy to get around. Like all you really
Yeah.
need is like with my iPhone in Maps, it got me everywhere. You just hop on a train, tap to pay, so easy. So yeah, London is such a vibe. That was my second time going there. The first time I went was like 2018 for like 2 3 days, which was like a tease. But being there for a week now, oh, it's so much fun, man. And then
Yeah.
like you said for celebration, like nobody's there complaining. Like so, like online, the Star Wars fan base can be very toxic and conflicting with each other.
No.
But that's not the case there. And so I've been to four of them, and everyone, it's all fun, all love. Everyone's happy, everyone's nice. It's kind of like scary that a place like that exists because nowadays there's not a lot of like safe havens you could say where you go and no matter what you like, everyone embraces you,
Yeah.
which is awesome. So
Shoot, even if you're a YouTube channel and you have a specific opinion, you're either a fence sitter or you're one side or the other. You're always
yeah,
never gonna make everyone happy.
yeah, exactly, yeah. So what was your one favorite memory or part from Celebration London?
Honestly, and as awesome as Celebration was, it was just hanging out with my friends. I spent hours jumping on their podcasts and stuff and just talking with them and all. They're all passionate about Star Wars just like me. My buddy Nick is the one that's local to to the area in London,
Yeah, yeah.
and he was showing everyone around. We all stared at an Airbnb together, and never and I've never done something like that. I wish
Mm-hmm.
I was able to stay more than a week because a few of them actually stayed a little bit longer than we did when we were down there. But we were just jumping places. We went to Nando's, we went to the movie theater, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But enjoying Celebration with them specifically because we were hyping it up for months. We were like,
Yeah.
we were sitting,
Yeah, yeah.
we were sitting in like Discord just on chat, and we were like, dude, next year we're going, and we're like, oh, okay, we got to look out for those ticket drops.
Yeah.
So, and they were boom eaten up.
Quick.
So,
Yeah, I think for me, mine's pretty much the same. Like the best part was meeting so many people and just hanging out with friends there. Like I met so many people and it was just crazy. And that's the thing I think I enjoy the most is just the people, meeting new people. Like I met people from London, Ireland, Scotland, Kuwait, Germany,
yeah.
Belgium. Like that was just wild. And so yeah, man, it was a blast. The one thing I wanted to know the most when I went was like, is a London celebration, a Europe celebration, is it different than like a US? Because I did Orlando, Chicago, Anaheim, and London was the first like Europe one. Bro,
Yep.
it's the same thing. It is the same exact thing. Like everything's the same. So, I was glad to see that. Like I just felt right at home as soon as I got
Yeah.
there.
And that's great too because that like takes the stress off your shoulders as well because you
Yeah,
know how it's gonna run.
exactly. Yeah,
and
yeah,
and now knowing that it's going to be like that in a foreign country as well,
yeah.
for like Japan or something, it's going to be a little bit hard with the street smarts, reading signs and trying to figure
Yes,
out where things are going to be.
yes. That
Find a local friend, I tell you.
yeah.
But when you get there, there were so many Americans at the
Oh yeah.
London XL Center. It was crazy.
Oh yeah, no, so many people, and it's crazy. A couple of them, they're gonna be at ICC Con. Like they were DMing me, like, yeah, we're gonna be there too. I'm like, oh, cool, what's up? Say hi when you see me, of course.
Awesome.
But yeah, tons of people from the States went out there, like tons. But yeah, I met so many people from out here. But just meeting all like the people scattered around the world was awesome. Are you going to Japan?
It's it's a yes and a no. Mainly because it's too early for me and it's in 2 years, so I don't really
Two
have a
years,
definite
yeah,
answer. But that's just the thing, though. Visiting Japan, I've always wanted to do it.
yeah.
But having the limitation, like, okay, Star Wars Celebration is in 2 years, so if you want to hit up Celebration and Japan, now's the time to do it. So it's like
Yeah.
putting a time limit on my vacation, which I
No,
was kind of skeptical with going with London too, because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to Celebration for 4 days, and then I have how many days after, in the week and stuff like
yeah,
that I'm gonna be staying extra to actually view London, which is
yeah,
something I
yeah.
wanted to do as well. But who knows? We have a lifetime. We can always go back. So I think it's leaning more yes than a no, but it's still up in the air.
Yeah, so for me, I've always wanted to go to Japan, but that 18-hour flight from Florida, like I'm like, I'll get to it maybe later in life, but now that this is happening, it's like, okay, so what I'm doing is I'm gonna do, I think it's 10 days out there. So the first 6 days is all Japan stuff, and then the last 3 days will be at Celebration because it's only 3 days. It's a short one,
Yeah.
which is kind of weird. Like, give us, I don't, maybe it's good because it's less days to spend more money at the con, but at the same time, you want to enjoy every moment of it because it's gonna go so fast.
Yeah, and that's what the worry was for me as well too, because I don't have a job where I spend all day standing on concrete, so my legs aren't trained for that. So
Oh yeah, it'll mess you
walking
up.
to the train stations, 20 minutes here, 20 minutes there, standing all day on concrete, and then having to walk back and ride trains. First 2 days, my legs were shattered, but I just realized I'm with my friends that I never get to see. I'm in Europe. I'm at
Yep.
a convention that I've always wanted to go to for like so many years now. I just have to kick through. And when I did, it was like an internal callus, man. Like
Yeah.
my legs were stiff, but I walked the pain off. Stryker in what was it, X-Men Origins? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know
yeah,
what movie was it, walk until your feet bleed. That's what I
yeah,
did, and
yeah,
I just
yeah,
kind of forgot that I was in pain because I was walking so
yeah.
much. But dude, it's definitely a thing. If you've never been to Celebration, you strongly recommend it.
No, yeah. So basically, we got 2 years till it, but I'm pretty sure tickets will be on sale in a year. Like From Orlando to Chicago, Orlando was 2017, Chicago was 2019. So it's the same amount of time in between, just like London and Japan. So then tickets for Chicago went on sale June 2018, right in the middle. So I have a strong feeling next May, June, July, one of those months, probably in June, those Japan tickets will go on sale. And they should be cheaper than London's because it's 3 day, not 4 day. So that's kind of a plus right there. But then you got to book everything else. So I've been looking at prices for everything. Everything is reasonable, but the flight is ridiculous.
Yeah, and it's long too. Like that's the
Yeah,
journey in itself right there.
yeah. But I think with that, I also added an extra day. That way, my first day there doesn't really count as a day of my 6 days in Japan. Because like I'm gonna be so messed up from 18 hours of flight. They're like 13 hours ahead of us in the future. So like when you like I can't even comprehend when I leave here what time or day it'll be when I land there until I'm there. It's too hard to think of. But
It was odd just going on the British Airways plane. You
yeah.
blink and it's like nighttime. Okay, all right, daytime. All right, cool. We're having
Yeah,
breakfast.
man. Yeah. Yeah. So that's gonna be crazy for sure. But
Yep.
um I think the next one after that probably be 2027. And then that one I'm hoping is in Orlando. Because we all thought this 2025 was gonna be Orlando. So I guess we'll see, man.
And that's a weird place to have it too. I know we haven't had a celebration in Japan in quite some time. I forget what even
2008. 2008 was the last.
2008. Yeah, so
Yeah, bro.
it's been a while. But then to just give it only 3 days and
I know.
make that the location for the Revenge of the Sith 20th anniversary,
I
it's just a
know.
little weird. But it's still doable, you know.
No, no, for sure. No, for sure. So the first article we're gonna get into, and we kind of talked about it on my stream yesterday.
Oh man,
But yeah, man, Ray Stevenson passed away. What was it, yesterday? So
Sunday, something like that. Yeah.
so crazy, man. Like we literally were just talking about how we just saw him on stage at Celebration. This dude has done so much Star Wars, Marvel, and then he's always a good bad guy in every movie he's in or show. So what do you think about that, man?
I mean, he even just comes off as a good person, like just a
Yeah.
stand-up dude. Just become. I've never met the guy. I've never talked to him. Nothing like that. But out of the stuff that I've seen, interviews, and just like you said, seeing him on stage in the flesh, he was so humbled to just be in that role of what he's coming. Balin something in
Yeah,
Ahsoka,
Balin. Yep.
the new bad guy. It's just it. And I said it, before. It's just like the Chadwick Boseman situation where watching the new product come out without like the main guy or one of the main characters just feels a little bit off.
Yep.
But it kind of enhances the performance too because you watch his role, so any badass moment he has, it's just going to be that much more cooler. Any sad
Yeah.
moment that's going to be in the show involving him is just going to be that much more depressing. It's going to be a lot to take in, and it's surreal to think that we just saw this guy and he was almost going to spoil something on the stage, and
Yeah.
Filoni was looking over like, "Don't you say anything."
Yep.
They should have
Yep.
just let him say something, man. 58 is way too young to go. Pour one out for Gar Saxon. Fantastic actor, Ray
Yeah,
Stevenson.
man. Balin in the Ahsoka show, Gar Saxon in Clone Wars, like, yeah, man, it sucks. And like, I wonder what happens with his character in the show. Like, does he survive the whole show? Like, if he passes away in the show, are they gonna change that? Like, I don't know, man.
Recasting is always a different can of worms that is very shoddy.
Yeah,
But dude, it's just sad. It's just sad.
yeah,
My whole day was ruined when I heard that news.
yeah. No, no, for sure. So the next one, a little bit more positive. You saw Natalie Portman like talking about how might potentially be open to coming back and stuff.
Yeah, and that's the key word too, open. I've seen a lot of people on like, dude, and freaking Padme's coming back. Padme's. I'm
Yeah,
like, listen,
yeah,
read the
clickbait.
text. She said she's interested. It's
Yeah.
not. I'm coming back to Star Wars.
No, yeah, I know. I saw a lot of people having articles or YouTube's like she's back, she's coming back. I'm like, no, I read it. She's open to it from that interview. I would love it, bro. And like,
Oh yeah, dude.
like they had a missed opportunity in Kenobi. They could have had a Padme flashback, like Vader could have had a nightmare. They could have had her in there. She's basically there on set all the time. At Disney, she was in Thor and stuff like that. She was a Force ghost at the end of Thor. Spoilers, but I would kill to see her. And then if she were to be back coming to the conventions, I would kill to meet her, bro. Like if she was at Celebration in Japan or like New York Comic Con or something, like, oh man.
I think her first return, coming to like a convention or something, would be in such high demand.
Oh yeah. Oh
It'd be even
god.
higher than Hayden and Ewan because they've
Yeah.
been doing it for a couple of years now.
Yep.
But
Yep.
dude, Natalie Portman, done.
Jesus.
Sold out first 20 minutes. 20 seconds even. I don't even like you
Everybody
said.
everybody in some point in their life had a crush on her from something, bro. From something, bro. It's freaking Padme. So
That would be
hopefully,
cool.
yeah, hopefully it leads to something. I don't know, man. I doubt it, but you never know. You never
Think
know.
of all the actors like Liam Neeson that he
Oh.
was like interviewed. He's like, yeah, they never even called me. They didn't even
Yeah.
contact me.
Yep.
Of course, he's a Force ghost. We didn't
Yep.
all see it coming, but there was a very strong prediction,
Of
right? There were
course,
very
yeah.
high suspicions over it. So I mean, the actors are always gonna lie to protect their role. It depends on what they want to say, but
Yeah.
I would love to see that.
And speaking of that, did you see the Freddie Prinze Jr. thing where he was talking about how he doesn't want to do Kanan no more, that he didn't want to do it for Bad Batch or Rise, this or that? You saw that, right? That
You can't throw us off your scent,
bro, he's so like so full of shit, and like literally he was supposed to be at ICC Con this weekend for months. Like his autographs were selling, his photo ops were selling. All of a sudden last week, Mike tweeted that he's not going to be there, and everyone was worried that is he sick? Did something happen? And Mike was like, no, he's filming or he's doing some movie stuff, bro. This man is not in no movies right now. If anything, he's doing voice work, or if he's going to be live action Kanan in an Ahsoka flashback, he's filming that shit right now.
Yeah. Or
Literally
a
right now.
Scooby-Doo 3. Who knows?
Bro, no. So,
But yeah, that is very, very suspicious.
super suspicious. Like all of us, and like, why would you cancel ICC? Try to make it decent money, but like Disney money for Star Wars for Ahsoka, bro. I'm calling it now. It might just be a voice and maybe a little whatever, but we're gonna get some sort of Kanan flashback.
Yeah, and not to veer too far off, but we mentioned it twice while we were live here. Is ICC, for those who you don't know, is basically Star Wars Celebration on an affordable scale for the public. When I went, I got to meet Mike Havens, and he's such an awesome, upstanding dude. Super cool. We were in a hotel that he rented out for everyone, and it'll never be like this again, I don't think, because of how quickly it's growing. He has to constantly get bigger buildings. But we were in a hotel, the Sheraton City Music Hotel. It was like a squared off building with a courtyard in the middle. And all of the friends and everything were just chilling out in the courtyard. We dominated. We have a massive table. He just comes out, has a drink with us, and I got it on my Instagram highlight. You were just sitting in a chair. Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah, that's so cool.
Super awesome, dude. And I plan on going to that before I even started jumping on people's podcasts and pretty much making myself known online about like talking Star Wars and stuff.
Yeah.
So if I went there by myself, I would have got what I needed to do, and then went up to my room and just waited for the weekend to be over. Because that's all we went for. We went for a weekend. That's how quickly it went. But the ability to just walk around the hotel with your friends, and all of a sudden Ian McDermott just walks by. Hey, Ian, the freaking Emperor, what?
Yes.
Walking like a foot away from you, like in the crowd, and no one says anything either. Like they just, I'm like, did you just see that? No one just reacted. Did you just walk by? Anyways, yeah, ICC is growing, and it's gonna become Celebration. Non-corporate.
So literally, my friend OG Geek Mike went last year, and I saw his video, and I'm like, what the hell is this show? I never heard of it before. It's in Nashville, Tennessee, like the small, like super random. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, yo, this looks like the next best thing to Celebration. It looks like a mini Star Wars Celebration. Like they have the whole Clone Wars cast there. This year they have the whole Rebels cast. Like it's, and like you said, it's only gonna get bigger and bigger. So I'm glad I'm here now, and I have a strong feeling this will be a yearly thing, like going to Celebration every time. Like I don't think I'm gonna want to miss ICC Con next year.
I'm definitely going next year, 100%. I just couldn't this year, but
Yeah.
that was last year when I went. That was the one of the first conventions that they started having Ashley, Matt, and James traveling together at multiple conventions. They were now it's just a
Yeah.
thing. All three of them travel to
Yep.
conventions together, and you can just see all three of them: Anakin, Ahsoka, and Obi-Wan. But that was one of the first that they did it. And then you have Anthony Daniels, Ian McDermott, and then a
Yeah,
couple like
bro.
Kenner people, like official people.
Yeah.
Mike said
Yeah.
that he was able to get them because when he had Daniel Logan, apparently he hooked him up.
Oh,
Connections,
nice.
and it'll never be like that again, or where it's like you'll see them walking by. That was the convention where I actually was able to spill out my guts and personal feelings, something really personal for the Clone Wars people. And
Nice.
James Arnold Taylor, Ashley Eckstein, and Anna Graves, the voice of Duchess Satine, all three of
Yeah.
them are actually following me on Instagram because of
That's so
that.
cool.
It's super personable people, super personal convention.
Yeah,
Everything was
yeah.
just, it was right.
I know.
So
I'm so excited, bro. So I,
you're
I
gonna have a blast in the next couple days.
I fly out this Thursday, and then Friday, since I have the press pass, Friday's a VIP only day, but VIPs they start at 12. Press could go in starting at 2 p.m. that day, so I'll get a little bit of that day, and then I'll be there all day Saturday, all day Sunday. I'm gonna try to get those videos out quick, bro, because I kind of know what to expect, but it's in a new, bigger place, and I don't know if you saw the map he posted on Instagram. Looks like freaking Disneyland. That map is huge.
Yeah, he's constantly getting bigger buildings, and
Yeah,
if you keep your eyes open, because I know you're big into Funkos and stuff, and this goes for like all the toy trading. So when I was there, everyone was starting to flock. It was like 10 p.m. at nighttime. We're all just it's really quiet. All of a sudden,
the
0 to
lobby.
100 people are starting to talk, flooding into the lobby. People are
Yeah.
boom setting up tables, boxes from nowhere, toys like figures from like '01 and like
Yeah,
1999, like original figures in box sealed. This is like the black market of toy trading. Like
I
it's so
know.
cool.
I cannot wait to see that stuff.
You definitely got to hit
Oh,
that up. It was, and I didn't
yeah.
even buy anything, but I was just happy to walk around and be like, dude, this is awesome. That dude's holding a Anakin with the blue cloak and everything, right when he
Yeah.
goes on the invisible hand, and has like the little silver collectible coin in the back of the thing. It's
Yeah.
so nostalgic and cool.
No, I cannot freaking wait, man. So this excited the hell out of me. So we got a rumor within the last like 6, 8 months about Ubisoft making an open world Star Wars game, and then we heard nothing of it. Now, lately, they're kind of saying that within the next 12 months, they should be dropping a major game, and everyone's saying it should be their open world Star Wars game. Did you hear about
I
this?
I didn't hear about that, but I have some sort of thought on it when it comes to open world. Like what exactly do they mean open world? Like it's pretty vague. Is it like
I
full galaxy exploration?
So that's what people are saying. They're saying you can hop from planet to planet, do this, do that. I forgot I think they have another open world game. I forgot what it's called,
No Man's
but
Sky?
I think it's no, what is this? Maybe it says it in this article. It's something else. I forgot what it's called. It's like a weird name. But it's supposed to be like a true open world game, not like Survivor, which you can hop from planet to planet, but you're still kind of following a path. I believe it's like a true open world game where you could do different things and you'll get different outcomes depending
Okay.
on what you do, supposedly, which I feel is what we need because the replay value on that would be through the roof if you could
Oh
be a
yeah.
Jedi in one playthrough, a Sith, a bounty hunter, like a moisture farmer, if you want to do random stuff, a smuggler. So if it's like that level, this game will be insane.
Yeah, No Man's Sky came out handful of years ago, and that was pretty much open world alien planet exploration. Like you're in space doing a little bit of combat, and then you go down, and you can like harvest material or something like that. Like kind of like Subnautica, but you can go into the space as well as the ocean. Um, but yeah, dude, I don't know. Fans are definitely gonna want um, like space combat, the ability to not only be in space and board like a Venator or like a capital ship,
Yeah.
but the ability to also go from the atmosphere all the way down to
Down.
the planet. You know, they want that
Imagine
seamless
that.
transition.
Yo,
Instead of just
imagine that.
instead of just like Battlefront 2 where it's like supremacy. Okay, we captured the flag. Now it's a cutscene and then we just teleport up there. No, dude, I want to fly up there. I want my team
Yeah.
to rely on me being a skilled
Yeah.
pilot to get to the battle. And that's going to be if this is as open world as they say it would be, that's going to be bigger than like Grand Theft Auto 5's file size because that's a massive game to begin
Yeah.
with.
No, for sure. So hopefully we do get it next year. That'd be nice if it I think it's the rumor like March 2024, April 2024. I'll take it, man. I mean, they should be pumping out a Star Wars game every year. I don't know. These studios are slacking because we will buy the hell out of it.
Oh yeah.
So
And if
quick.
it's a big like open world Star Wars game, I know with Grand Theft Auto 5 they had the voice actors doing quotes for the whole game and it took them years to just, you know, layer them down and do the
Oh,
mocap
yeah.
for it. So if it comes out in like a year, that means they've still been working on it as we speak, like before
Yeah.
for quite some time. So
Yeah.
very
No,
interested in that.
no, for sure. So this next one, they interviewed the Harrison Dula actress for the Ahsoka show,
Okay.
and I guess she mentioned that Hera is going to be a little bit different in the show. So she said, "I see Hera as an incredibly strong but complicated person. She's going to be very maternal, but she's also the leader of this crew. And as we see, she continues and becomes a general. So she's leading quite a lot of people, and she's becoming something of a legend in her own right." Which all that's expected because she already was a leader. When Kanan passed, spoilers, she had to be even tougher and stronger, especially having his son. So, I mean, I kind of can see that. I mean, it makes sense, right?
Yeah, but when I hear like maternal, that seems kind of reserved. You know, like not in the fight as much, like
Yeah.
focusing more on her kid and was it Jason, right?
Jason Sindula.
Jason Sindula. But then it also right after it says she's gonna be a general. So is she gonna be that and then turn back into a general? Or is she gonna like backtrack? Who knows?
Yeah. I mean, we'll see, but I have all the confidence in the world because this Filoni wrote all 8 episodes. So his story is going to be consistent and clear the whole way through, which makes me so happy. So,
Yeah.
Did you get into the Ahsoka panel?
Yeah, I got into the Lucasfilm panel and the Ahsoka one. Yeah.
So the Ahsoka trailer we got in the Lucasfilm panel that released that everybody saw was fire, like fire. But the one we got that Saturday in the Ahsoka panel, it blew me away with just the 2 extra things of Thrawn and what Sabine found
Holding Ezra's lightsaber.
yes.
Yeah.
So what'd you think of that second trailer, bro?
I actually kind of valued it the same because they said it was remixed, but they actually pretty much showed a lot of the same stuff.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah.
So what I thought was basically just the reaction of the people when they saw Thrawn walking. Everyone was like,
Bro,
"Yeah!"
from
Still
the
because
front-
it's Thrawn. An official could walk up on stage and say Thrawn, and the entire audience would go, "Yeah!"
Yep.
So seeing the same thing we seen yesterday at the Lucasfilm panel, and then it just cuts right to his face. We're like, "Yeah!" Oh!
Yeah. That was intense.
Hype. Pure 100% unfiltered hype.
And it got even worse after that, the hype, because as soon as the trailer cut off, he walks out on stage. Oh my God, bro. Lars Mikkelsen.
You want to meet him? Well, he's
Yeah.
here. We're like, no.
And he did the Thrawn voice for a little bit. Oh my God. Goosebumps, bro.
The fact that his
Goosebumps.
brother Lars was there at the same convention too. Like, they
Yeah,
should have just
yeah.
they should have
That's-
just told us ahead of time to just get the autograph, get our suspicions out of the way. That would have
Yeah,
been the new
man.
hype.
Yeah, so yeah, that trailer was crazy. My hype for the Ahsoka show is through the roof, man. Like, I just want the confirmed date already so I can plan around it. Because, like, allegedly that one leak said the 31st, but I think that was a generic placeholder because it's the last day of the month. It's like a Thursday. It's not even a Wednesday, so that doesn't make sense. So that can't be the actual release date since it has to be a Wednesday usually. So hopefully it's the beginning and they don't make us wait because, like, I want it now, man.
I actually don't want it now. I want it now, but I don't want it now because
Why?
I think it's so good. I don't want it to just be dumped on me like that. I want the hype to simmer with like nothing Star Wars coming out, and then just be fresh air.
That
Fresh breath.
is.
Ahsoka. Really? Nothing. There's no other projects.
No, we have
Video games. Nothing.
nothing, bro. It's gonna be a boring summer for Star Wars.
Oh, then it's gonna be a summer of Ahsoka, and it's gonna
It
be
is.
amazing. You
It
can count
is.
on me. No matter the release day, I'm gonna be staying up to see the new episode.
Oh
with my
yeah.
buds.
No, I'm gonna be requesting every Wednesday off from work, and then I'll be up 2:30 a.m. ready to record my reaction right when it drops at 3. Or usually it's like 2:50, 2:55 a.m. They've been hitting on Disney Plus. So, um, yeah, man. Oh, cannot wait, bro.
That scene where she cuts the window and then jumps out. Dude, look at my arm! I just forgot I had a freaking tattoo.
Yeah, yeah.
So I actually got that. It kind of segueing back to our previous two topics. So ICC, when I met the four Clone Wars people, I had so I didn't. I get. I'm jumbling my words. My brain's racing, but I had Matt Lanter, James Arnold Taylor, and Ashley Eckstein. 1, 2, and then Ashley did those. They did the first tattoo like collaborative like that, on anyone.
Nice.
And then when I went to Celebration, I had the Jedi of the Republic symbol stenciled in, and I went with the same level of advertisement, like, hey, can this be the autograph? Rosario Dawson, those were her people, right? Celebration, that was one of my main complaints, was the staff. And I get their volunteers,
Oh, yeah,
but
yeah.
you don't have to be jerks like they were being. That was
Yep.
just uncalled for. I get up and I asked her to do this, and the people in front of her were like, "Oh yeah, she's gonna love this, right?" I get up and she's fire. She reposted on her story, and I got to actually show her the finished product as well.
Yeah.
Same thing with Hayden. I couldn't get Ewan because he was doing his COVID protocol thing because he's in
Yeah.
a film. But when I go to see him again, I think he's going to be a little bit more than, because he was interested. It was the PhotoClicks people that said no before he could even say no. Because when I
Yeah.
got Hayden I had Rosario do the middle stem, and then I was going to have Ewan and then Hayden do the wings. Hayden, I just told Hayden, I'm like, look, I couldn't get Ewan. Rosario said she would beat you up if you didn't do this. He's like, oh, okay. So he leans over the double tables, and the PhotoClicks people are pissed. And I'm like, yeah, take that.
Yes.
Freaking cutting Ewan off. That was so annoying.
my
So
God.
Rosario and Hayden, first in the world for both of those, and
That's awesome.
good stuff.
Yes. All right. What else do I got? Oh, okay. Some more Ahsoka stuff. Speak of the devil. So I think this is the Sabine actress. So she was talking about some stuff with her and Ezra. So I didn't really read a lot of this, but let's see what it says. So she's been through a lot. She's still a stubborn cookie. Yes, she is. But I think that you find her at the end of Rebels. She has a huge part of the liberation of Lothal, and many regard her as this hero, but she does not feel that way about herself. She's only thinking about obligation towards her friend. So she's got that mission in mind, not her hero status. And she's got a huge journey to go with Ahsoka. So we find her at the start of that. So yeah, it seems like she's going to be really hell bent on finding Ezra the whole show. So that reunion, whenever they eventually find, is going to be emotional as hell.
Well, we even saw her in the trailer. Like Sabine walked up to Ahsoka and she was saying like "long time" or something like that, and
Yeah.
Ahsoka was like, "No," like she didn't have the same attitude. She was a little bit kind of reserved.
Yup.
And the wording in that as well makes me think it's kind of like the Hera thing we just read, where it's like, is she really gonna have that more reclusive role, or is she actually gonna end up going back to her roots and being more adventurous and fighting? I guess. I think it's gonna be the latter half.
Yeah, and we saw her fighting in that second trailer, and I cannot wait for that scene. And they said they allegedly said she has a lot of lightsaber scenes, like a lot, because she went
Good.
through lightsaber training for 3 months. She had to do 3-month lightsaber training,
Awesome.
which is, I was like, hell yes.
She was a bearer of the darksaber at one point, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was Ezra's lightsaber and that became her lightsaber.
Yeah. Yeah. And they also said there's so many rumors and leaks for this, bro. It's ridiculous. But they said that when they do find Ezra, she still keeps his lightsaber and they're fighting side by side. And she's just using the lightsaber. And Ezra is doing like the Force, what was it, Street Fighter, like Hadouken style stuff with the Force, using the Force,
Okay.
like
Like
crazy
Star
Force
Killer,
powers.
like bubble, and then to the side
Yeah,
blow a
stuff.
wall open.
Yeah. So
Right.
I think we're in for some intense stuff. And man, thank you, Dave. Thank you, Dave. I already know it's gonna hit. It's gonna hit so hard. So the last article I believe I have is womp womp womp. The Starcruiser Hotel closing. So did you ever do this, or what do you think about the Starcruiser?
Well, I think I was with the majority of people when they were saying, why is it only sequel era?
Yeah.
And I understand, like, even if it was OT only, I would still think to myself, like, there's something missing, right? You can't just reserve a specific time period, not only specific, like, era, but it
Yeah.
takes place in between, like, those two movies.
In between two movies. Yeah.
Two movies. Doesn't even
The
include yeah.
the least two favorite movies.
And yeah, it just I don't know. I kind of saw its downfall from the beginning, as a lot of people did.
Yeah.
Uh, and it's not a victory. I don't. Everyone's cheering, and I'm kind of cheering with them. But we all have to remember this is not a victory. We lost something Star Wars. But
I know.
hopefully it's an eye opener for people at Disney to be like, hey, we want Lucasland. We want a hotel room where we can look out on Mustafar. We want like this kind of stuff, right?
Camino, Tatooine,
We don't want to be
Hoth.
limited, and especially
Yep.
with and this goes to the park as well. Like they limit you on like what costumes you can wear, but if you're at the hotel, they don't care as much. Like what is
Yeah.
that? Just make it everyone can.
I
I
know,
don't know.
man. So before this even came out, I was like, I saw the price was crazy, but I'm like, yo, if it's Star Wars, I gotta do it. It's gonna be so cool because in my mind, I'm picturing all of Star Wars, not just one specific thing.
Yeah,
And then I know like the first 2 3 months were sold out. I was like, damn, this is crazy. I'll just plan it maybe a year out or something like that. And then we got the first videos, and I was like, what is this? And it just kind of like turned me off right away. I'm like, well, I'm good. I'll save my money. And then you saw in the first 3 months, more than half got canceled. So it's not for everybody. Now I know a lot of people did go and they did enjoy it. I have some friends that went and they had a blast, which is
yeah,
great.
same.
But for me, that 5 6 G's, I'd rather go to Hawaii for a week, put that towards Japan, and just splurge over
I'd rather
there.
go to Celebration 2.5 times.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. So like, there's so much you could do with that amount of money that it has to be like amazing for you to be that reckless to do
Yeah,
that. Unless you could afford it and just don't care. But I'm like a regular person, so I would have to save up for a long, long time. If it would have been like prequels or OT or Clone Wars or Mando, I probably would have wanted to experience that, man. But it was very, very limited in the scope of what they had on there, which doesn't make sense, man.
limited in the whole era of things, like, and then just how everything looks as well. Like the rooms themselves were like this generic, like Star Trek
Fifth Element.
space.
It looked like
Yeah,
Fifth Element.
multipass. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's not for me. I would have liked to go if anyone would like to go if they were just flown out, but they're not gonna. The average person is not gonna save up and pay for something like that. That's why it went under.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Which is crazy. So the last thing I have I'm going to show you is actually it's a lightsaber that we'll be releasing Friday, which is the day that this podcast will be out on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts. But this lightsaber drops Friday the 26th, 8 a.m. Pacific at Disney Shop, and it should be at the park too. But they're dropping the boy Ezra's
oh,
lightsaber.
nice.
Have you seen this yet?
No, I have not.
Yeah, so this is dropping on Disney Shop, and it should be at both parks on Friday. I'm guessing it would have been sick if it would have been the gun saber that had the gun handle on it that he had in
Oh
the
yeah,
first
yeah.
season or
The
two.
squared off hand. Yeah, grip. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think they're thinking more along the lines of the Ahsoka show because I'm pretty sure we should see Sabine with this or something very, very similar to this.
I mean, it makes sense, especially seeing Sabine with
Yeah,
it's a trailer. But I'm actually big into the lightsaber community. Have been for a long time. Like before NeoPixel and that even came out. I'm
yeah,
still buddies with like font makers from companies like Civilized Sabers and Christian Gale
Nice.
and all that. I have a couple over there. Um, but for me personally, I don't roll with any Disney lightsaber.
Mhm.
I would rather go to a company that makes the realistic photo prop, get it
Yeah.
like buy it empty, and then send it to one of my buddies where they can install it with NeoPixel and stuff like that. That way, it's a custom project, fit it together, one of one, and that's yours, right?
Yeah. No, exactly. And those sound so much better and they're so much brighter. Because I
Yeah.
have a couple Disney ones, but like I got the Darth Maul one because I love Darth Maul. And I got a crazy deal on it too. Because the time I went to the park, they were giving away, if you bought a lightsaber, you got a free Halcyon lightsaber shield, this big circle thing, right? It's like the dumbest thing in the world to me. Like, I was like, what the hell is that? But I sold them on eBay for like 70, $80 each.
Oh,
So literally that cut the price off the saber. So I bought two Maul sabers to connect it, got two free shields, sold both the shields because I wasn't a huge fan of it, and it cut the price in half. And then the only other Disney sabers I had when they dropped the Revenge of the Sith dual Anakin Obi-Wan sabers in the wooden box that played freaking Battle of the Heroes, when you open it, I was like, I was shocked that Disney Shop had a new release that said Revenge of the Sith on it. It blew me away. So I had
they
to
still
grab
like
that.
they still acknowledge it to some extent, and that was really cool too. Those little limited runs that they do. The Ahsoka one's cool.
With the
Amazing
wooden,
looking
yeah.
white box with the
With
fulcrum
the
symbol
music,
on it.
yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. Even the one they just dropped, which I slept on it, I should have got it. And I'm so mad because I didn't know that it did this. But you saw the Cal Kestis one that dropped on May the 4th in the wooden
Yes.
box.
Yeah.
It changes colors, and none of the other ones really change colors. So it could literally do any color kyber crystal just like in the game.
See, that's going right back to my point. Like, I would rather have the hilt and then get it
Yeah,
installed
yeah.
because once you get Crystal Focus, Prophy, Golden Harvest, whatever, smooth swing, flash on clash, tip drag, any sound font you want, fully customizable, any color, any effect.
Yeah.
That's the way to go in my opinion.
Yeah,
And
man.
on my Instagram, I spin them all the time. I love it. That's that's what I do.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No.
those are definitely super cool. And like you're saying, the Revenge of the Sith package. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, man. I had to. So
Yes.
that's pretty much everything I have. You have anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
I'm pretty good here. But thanks for having
Yeah.
me on.
No, man. So I appreciate your time. This was fun. Thanks for coming on. But that'll be it for this episode of Sith Talk. We'll see you guys next week.
Peace.